Picture this: an artist is scrolling through Instagram looking for a producer to collaborate with on their next song. They come across two different profiles. One profile is a jumble of random gear photos, pictures of their dog, and a profile picture that looks like it was taken at a party 5 years ago. The other profile has cohesive imagery, a really well shot profile photo, and a wall that just screams, "I know what I'm doing." Which profile do you think that artist is going to tap on? Now, here's the thing: that messy profile might belong to an absolute genius of a mixing engineer, and the polished profile might be all show and no substance. But in today's world where first impressions happen faster than a finger snap, that visual brand could be the difference between landing your dream gig and getting completely lost in the noise. Welcome to the fifth and final episode in our series on irresistible branding for studio pros. I'm Carl Bahner, and today we'll create a visual brand that'll get clients to stop scrolling and start reaching out. Over my 2 decades in the music industry, I've watched incredible producers get overlooked simply because they couldn't translate their sonic skills into visual appeal. But I've also seen how a strong visual brand can open doors to incredible opportunities. And today we're making sure that you're not just heard, but seen in the best possible light. By the end of this video, you'll know how to create a visual brand that's as compelling as your productions are. You'll understand how to visually communicate your unique value to your ideal clients, even before they hear a single song you've worked on. Now, to be clear, we're not talking about faking it. We're talking about authentically showcasing who you are and what you do best, visually. So if you're ready to make your brand look as good as your songs sound, let's dive in. Before we jump into the visuals, let's do a quick recap of what we learned so far. We talked about why branding matters to studio pros. We uncovered your unique brand identity. We found your sweet spot with the 3 niche circles, and we crafted your compelling brand story. So now we're going to translate all of that into a visual language that your ideal clients will instantly connect with. Think of your visual brand as the album artwork for your professional identity. Just like great album art can make somebody want to listen before they've even heard a note, your visual brand should make potential clients want to work with you before they've heard a single mix. So here's the thing about visual branding. It's often the first impression you make on a potential client. Before they hear your mixes, before they read your bio, they're going to see your profile picture, your logo, your color scheme, your overall visual style. And in this industry where creativity is currency, your visual brand needs to be on point. But remember, we're not trying to look like anyone else. We're trying to visually represent what makes you unique. Your visual brand should be a reflection of your brand identity, your niche, and your story. Think about some of your favorite artists or producers. Chances are you can picture their visual style instantly. That's the power of strong visual branding, and that's what we're going to create for you. So, for example, think about Rick Rubin. What comes to mind? Probably that iconic beard, the minimalist aesthetic, often barefoot in simple, loose clothing. This visual brand perfectly aligns with his stripped-back production style and zen-like approach to music. On the engineering side, there's Andrew Scheps. His visual brand is all about authenticity and accessibility. You'll often see him in casual wear in real-world studio environments, which aligns perfectly with his approach to demystifying the mixing process. For an even more modern example, look at Phineas. His visual brand is clean, youthful, and slightly quirky. This perfectly complements the innovative yet nostalgic feel of his productions. These producers and engineers aren't just randomly choosing how to present themselves. Their visual branding is an authentic, natural extension of their professional identity and the value they bring to their clients. That's the kind of thoughtful, authentic visual branding we're aiming for. Not copying anyone else, but creating a visual representation that truly represents who you are as a studio professional. Let's break down the key elements of visual branding. There are 4 main components we need to focus on. First up, we have your logo. This is more than just a cool design. It should represent your brand's personality. Think of it as a visual shorthand for everything you stand for. What you're looking at now is my logo. And yeah, it's just my name, right? But it was hand-painted by a good friend of mine, Brant Imhoff, because I wanted a handcrafted, playful representation of me. And one of the things that I really strive for in the studio is what I like to call curated imperfection. It's thoughtful and it's rough around the edges, but it's not sloppy. I'm all about allowing happy accidents to happen. I'm all about being surprised by things that I did not plan, by sounds I didn't intend on. All of the quirky little nuances in this logo represent that really well. Next, we have your color palette. Colors evoke emotions, so choose ones that align with your brand identity. Are you all about organic vintage sounds? Maybe earth tones like warm browns and greens are your thing. Are you deep into synthwave production? Then consider vibrant neon colors. I really like mid-century modern furniture and interior design, so the colors that I use actually match this wall that I have behind me. Typography is next. The fonts you use say a lot about your style and professionalism. Are you classic and timeless? Maybe a serif font is right for you. Or modern and sleek? Maybe something cleaner like a sans serif. If you're an overachiever like me, you may even get your own custom font designed for you. You've been reading my custom font for this whole video series, and I use it in all of my social media content, workshop slides, really anywhere that I can. Okay, so let's talk about imagery. Sure, a video of your compressor working hard might excite other gear nerds, but does it help an artist feel like they know you? Does it make them think, this is someone I'd enjoy spending hours in a studio with? Probably not. Instead, think about imagery that showcases your personality and helps build a connection with potential clients. The key is to use imagery that gives them a sense of who you are as a person, not just as a technician. It's about creating a visual story that makes them feel like they already know you before you've ever talked. So I want to talk about one of the simplest but most powerful tools in your visual branding arsenal. And especially when it comes to imagery, I think this is the most important for us as studio pros. It's not your logo, it's not your color scheme, it's actually something that you already have and it's completely unique to you. I'm talking about your face. Yeah, that's right. Your face is arguably the most important visual branding element that you have. But I see so many producers and engineers hiding behind their gear or just showing off the back of their head. But think about it. Humans are hardwired to connect with faces. We remember faces. We trust faces. And when an artist is looking for someone to collaborate with, they're not just looking for a set of skills. They're looking for the person that they can trust and feel comfortable with. By showing your face prominently in your branding, you're saying, oh, hey, here I am. This is me. I'm real. I'm approachable, and I'm ready to knock your song out of the park. It immediately starts building trust and familiarity, which is everything. Now, I get it. Not everyone is comfortable being the face of their brand. Maybe you're camera shy or you think that your work should speak for itself. But remember, in this industry, personality is a huge part of the package. Artists want to work with people, not faceless entities. Here's a little secret. You don't need to be a model or have professional headshots. Just a clear, friendly photo of you in your element. In your studio, at your console, behind an instrument, whatever it is, that can work wonders. It's about authenticity, not perfection. So I challenge you, make your face a key part of your visual brand. Put it in your profile pictures, on your website, in your social media posts. Let potential clients see the person behind the music. Because at the end of the day, they're not just hiring a pair of ears, they're hiring you. Artists are looking for someone they can trust with their vision, someone they feel comfortable spending long hours in the studio with, comfortable spending weeks crafting a song together. Your imagery should make them think, this is someone I'd like to be around. That's how you build trust and familiarity through your visual brand. The key to strong visual brand is consistency. All these elements we just talked about, they need to work together harmoniously. Think of it like mixing a song. Each element has its own place, and they all need to complement each other to create a cohesive whole. Take someone like Trent Reznor. His visual brand is consistently dark, industrial, and minimalist across all of his elements, from his logo to album art, even to how he presents himself in photos. It all works together to create a distinct and recognizable brand. When done right, your visual brand becomes instantly recognizable. It should feel like a natural extension of your personality and your work. And most importantly, it should resonate with your ideal clients. Keep in mind, consistency doesn't mean boring. It just means that when someone's looking at your website, your social media, or even a business card, it should be instantly recognizable as you. It's about creating a visual signature that's as distinctive as your sound. Okay, so let's talk about some of the common pitfalls that I see with studio pros and their visual branding. And trust me, I've seen them all, and I've made quite a few of these mistakes myself along the way. The gear wall syndrome. Okay, cool, your gear's impressive, but that doesn't tell me anything about what it's like to work with you. The vast majority of clients care more about your ears than your gear. So many producers and engineers will tell you that it's the ears, not the gear, yet all they post about is the gear. Sure, show off that vintage tape machine if it's part of your signature sound, but make sure you're in the picture too. Your personality is your biggest asset, so don't let it get lost in a sea of knobs and faders. Then there's the cliche trap. Floating music notes, sound waves, speakers. I've seen those symbols in logos a million times. And using these overused symbols can make your brand look generic and amateur. You're a creative professional, so let that creativity shine in your branding too. Think about visuals that represent your unique style and approach. But the biggest pitfall of all is failing to showcase your personality in your brand imagery. Whether it's through the colors you choose, the style of your photos, your fashion choices, let your personality shine through. Are you the meticulous perfectionist, the laid-back collaborator, the boundary-pushing innovator? Whatever it is, make sure your visual brand reflects that. Remember, your visual brand should make your life easier, not harder. It should naturally attract your ideal clients and gently repel the ones who are not a good fit. It's about authenticity, not perfection. So here's your challenge. Take a hard look at your visual branding. Are you making any of these mistakes? Are you showing your face, your personality, your unique style? If not, it's time for a change. Because in this industry, being forgettable is far worse than making a bold choice that not everyone loves. So now that we've covered the what and the why of visual branding, let's dive into the how. How do you actually bring this visual brand to life? First things first, assess your skills honestly. Are you secretly a Photoshop wizard? Great. If not, that's okay too, because your strength is in making killer tracks, not necessarily in graphic design. If you're going the DIY route, start small. Just focus on consistency across your platforms, making sure that you're using the same profile picture, sticking to a simple color scheme. And for the love of all that is good and holy, your iPhone is probably totally fine as a camera. Don't feel like you have to wait around to get a better camera. Especially when you're DIYing it, done is better than perfect. Now, if doing it yourself feels overwhelming, that's okay. There are plenty of great template services out there. Sites like Squarespace or Wix offer sleek, professional-looking templates for your website that you can customize. The key is just customizing it. Don't just slap on a template and call it a day. Make sure that you change it to match your colors, use your own photos, make it feel like you. But here's my honest advice. If you can swing it, hire a professional. A good designer can take all the work that we've done in this series, your brand identity, your niche, and your brand story, and translate it into a killer visual brand. Think of it as an investment. Just like you tell an artist it's worth investing in professional production, the same goes for your branding. A cohesive professional visual brand can elevate you from bedroom producer to serious industry player in the eyes of potential clients. That said, whether you DIY it, use templates, or hire a professional, the most important thing is your visual brand should feel authentically you. It should align with your personality, your style, and the experience of working with you. Here's a little test. Look at your visual branding elements all together. Your logo, your colors, your photos. Does it feel like you? If not, take the time to refine it because more often than not, your visual brand is the first impression that you make on a potential client. Make it count, make it memorable, but most importantly, make it you. And there you have it. In these past 5 episodes, we've journeyed through the world of branding for studio pros, from the why to the what to the how. So let's take a moment and recap all the things that we covered. We started off by diving into why branding isn't just a buzzword, it's a crucial tool for us as producers and engineers. Because your brand isn't what you say it is, it's what they say it is. Then we dug deep to uncover your brand identity, not just who you should be, but who you really are as a professional. We found your niche sweet spot with those 3 overlapping niche circles. Then we crafted your brand story, not just a list of accomplishments and credits, but a narrative that resonates with your ideal clients. And then today we brought it all together visually. Because let's face it, this is the age of social media, and whether we like it or not, looks do matter. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. I want you to take some action. I want you to do something right after this video ends. Don't close out YouTube and forget about this. I want you to take 10 minutes and audit your current branding. Look at your website, your social media, your email signature. Does it all align with what we've talked about? Does it showcase your unique identity? Does it speak to your niche? Does it tell your story? And does it look good doing it? If not, that's okay, but it's time for a refresh. Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground, and if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't worry, I've got your back. I've put together a comprehensive guide that dives even deeper into all of these topics. It's called the Studio Pro's Guide to Irresistible Branding. Think of it as your branding Bible, something you can refer back to again and again as you build your brand. The link's in the description. Now, this isn't a one-way street. I want to hear from you. So if you have questions, success stories, branding fails that we can all learn from, drop them in the comments below. This is a community and we're all in this together. If you found this series helpful, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I've got tons more content coming on how to thrive in this weird, wild, modern music industry. Your brand is everything, so make it shine bright. Make it unapologetically you. And until next time, keep creating, keep branding, and most importantly, keep being authentically you. Your dream clients are out there, and now you know exactly how to attract them. Thanks for watching this series, and see me in the next video.